Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to BVLSI lab number 2A. So the aim of this today's lab is comparison of NMOS inverters with four different loads. So we are going to plot the voltage transfer characteristics for NMOS inverter with four different loads. Then we will note down the four voltages like VIL, VIH, VOH and VOL. And then we'll find the noise margin, that is the high noise margin and the low noise margin. So before going there, some concepts which we have to cover. So basically we will be doing all the inverters. So inverters we have studied in the lower semester at the gate level, right? Various NAND gate, NOT gate, NOR gate. So this is the NOT gate. So what does the NOT gate do? Whenever we apply a logic 0, output will be logic 1. And whenever we apply a logic 1, output will be logic 0, right? And ideal inverter, I mean, a NOT gate is an ideal inverter. It will invert whatever is applied at the input. So the characteristics of the ideal inverter, the VTC characteristics will be like this. So if you plot, VTC means V out versus V in, correct? As you can see very clearly that in this characteristics, whenever input is low, output is at VDD. VDD is considered to be logic number 1, and logic 0 will be, let's say it is logic 0 will be 0 volts. So where input is low, output will be high, and when the input is high, output will be low. Okay, so here it describes the ideal VTC curve for ideal inverter, and the transition from the high to low state at the output is very drastic. It's actually like a step. Okay, so let's go further. So similarly, in this subject of VVLSI, we will be doing the same inverter, studying the same inverter circuit, but at the transistor level. This was at the gate level, but ultimately this NOT gate symbol is ultimately made up of transistors. So we will use a resistive, I mean, we will use a NMOS inverter basically. So NMOS inverter is basically your driver. We will be using for all the inverters driver as NMOS enhancement transistor, wherein will be applied input to the gate, and the load will keep on changing, correct, which is connected to the VDD, right? So this load might be resistive load, which will be a resistor. It can be enhancement load, which will be a NMOS transistor in NMOS enhancement transistor. It can be a depletion load, wherein we can use a NMOS depletion transistor, and or else it can be a PMOS load. Okay, so a PMOS enhancement transistor along with NMOS enhancement transistor, it's called as a CMOS inverter. So this PMOS enhancement load we'll be using. So these are the four types of inverters which we are going to analyze in this. So we have just now seen the characteristics of a ideal VTC. I mean the ideal VTC characteristics. It is like this. But in practically in reality, the transition between the logic high to logic low takes some, it has a finite slope, right? So let's define some terms before going there. So we are defining the logic levels. So logic levels are the boundaries when the digital signal is considered to be high or low. So high means logic 1, which is example 5 volts, and low means logic 0, which example means 0 volt. Okay, so a VTC curve, that is the voltage transfer characteristics curve. It's V in versus V out graph. Okay, it's the inverter static or the DC nature. Okay, it represents the inverter static or DC nature. That means it refers to the inverters or the gate operation when the inputs are not changing. So basically it describes the static behavior of the MOS inverter. That means whenever the inputs are not changing at all. Okay, now there are 5 critical parameters or voltages which describe or characterize this DC transfer characteristics. So these parameters are VOH, VOL, VIL, VIH, and VTH. So if you know these 5 parameters, it will characterize the total behavior. We'll come to know more about the inverter. So VOH is the highest output voltage over here. So what is the definition? VOH is the maximum output voltage when the output level is at logic 1. So it is the maximum output voltage when the output level is at logic 1. And what is VOL? VOL is the minimum output voltage. It is output voltage. VO stands for output. H stands for high, and input which can be interpreted as logic 0. Okay, and similarly VIH is the minimum input voltage which can be interpreted as logic 1. So these are the definitions. The VTH, the point on the VTC curve wherein V in is equal to V out. So let's say if you draw a line over here, this blue line, wherein the V in is equal to V out, that means the slope of this line is 1, correct? So that point, the point on the VTC curve at which V in is equal to V out, is called as VTH. Now VTH is called as the threshold voltage of the inverter. Now remember, the threshold voltage for individual NMOS and individual PMOS is different. This is the threshold voltage of the inverter. Okay, or we call it as an inverter threshold voltage. Now before going further, let's see some more definitions and then we'll come back to this VTC curve. Okay, there are some after knowing these 5 critical parameters, we define something called as noise margin. So noise margins are nothing but the noise tolerance for the digital circuits. So your noise immunity of the circuit will increase with the noise margin. Okay, the larger the noise margin, the your circuit will be more immune to your noise signals. So there are two noise margin levels, NML. There is a noise margin for the low level signals, and NMH, which is the noise margin for the high level signals. Now concentrate in this diagram. Okay, so over here we have defined all the 4 critical parameters. We have VOL, we have VIL, we have VIH, or we have VOH. Okay, so you can see VOH is logic 1 output. Now VOH can be closer to VDD also, right? Or VOH can be slightly less than that also. That's why I've defined the other range. So VOH determined the logic 1 output. VOL determined the logic 0 output. So it also a range, right? So you see VOL can be 0 or it can be very near to 0. Okay. Your VIH is also the range. Okay. So VIH is the logic 1 input. So what was the definition of VIH? It is the minimum input voltage which can be interpreted as logic 1. Similarly, VIL is the range. It is the maximum input voltage which can be correctly interpreted as logic 0. Okay, and the difference between your VOH and VIH is your noise margin high, and your difference between your VIL and VOL is the noise margin low. Okay, and in between we have a uncertain or the transition region. Okay, so if your any voltage falls between this transition region, it cannot be correctly determined with confidence that it can be whether it can be logic 0 or logic 1. So in our designs we should try to maximize the noise margin levels. Okay, if our noise margin levels are more, that means this uncertain region will be less. So design techniques or designers tries to keep this uncertain region as less as possible. Okay, and if you go over here in this inverter, in this ideal characteristics, if you see carefully, your VIL and VIH is almost equal, right? So if VIH and VIL are almost same, that means what we have an uncertain region which is very, very less. Okay. And that is what the designer goal is, to keep the uncertain region, which is your VIH minus VIL, to be very, very small. Okay. Now, once we know this, let us define this. So NML is VIL minus VOL, and NMH, which is VOH minus VIH. Okay, so remember these things. So the higher the noise margin levels, the better. Okay, so it is an important design objective is to reduce the bit of the uncertain region. That's what I have repeated again. Okay, now let's come back to this. Okay, so once you have these 4 inverters which we have over here, every inverter will give you this VTC characteristics, and from that we have to extract VOH, VOL, VIL, VIH, and VTH points. Okay, now how to correctly determine this? So when this curve falls down, so the first time it falls down, whenever its slope is -1. Now what is -1? Now this is the blue line is the slope 1. So if you draw a perpendicular 90-degree line over here perpendicular to this V in equal to V out line, and whenever the slope is -1 for the first time, when it is falling down, that point correspondingly you take it down, that will be your VIL. Okay, similarly whenever the slope, whenever the curve, that is a V out, it's moving towards the, transition region, that is down, then the last slope over here, which is equal to -1, is corresponding to that point, is called as VILH. Okay, so over here the slope will be once -1, and over here also again the slope will be -1 once. Okay, so slope is nothing but your gain, the dv out by dv. So whenever dv out by dv is equal to -1, that time, corresponding to that point, we have VIL, and the slope corresponding to the, this thing, whenever it is going down for the second time, it is called as VIH. And how you determine VTH? VTH is nothing but whenever you draw this V in versus V out line, the corresponding point over here on the x axis is your VTH, and the corresponding point on the y axis is also VTH. Okay, so having these things, once you have this VTC curve, this is how you determine the parameters, that is VOH, VOL, VIL, and VIH and VTH. Okay, so that's how we determine. Okay, now let's quickly jump to what we have to do. So first of all, we have to make a resistive load NMOS inverter. So the parameters of the driver transistors are given, right? And we have to plot the VTC curve by using the DC analysis by varying the V in from 0 to 5 in the steps of 0.1. And then we need to note down the values of VOL, VOH, VIL, and VIH using the measure statement. Okay. And also we need to note down the value of ID, using the dot OP statement in order to calculate the power delivered by the VDD supply. Okay, and you have to prepare this table. Okay, it's a huge table. RL, different values of RLs are given. Okay, so odd roll numbers can take these values of RL. RL is equal to 200, RL is equal to 150 kilo ohm, RL is equal to 100 kilo ohm. Okay, and even roll numbers can take 180, 120, and 90 kilo ohm correspondingly. Fine. So for this, we have to calculate the four critical parameters, that is VOH, VOL, VIL, and VIH. Calculated values using the equations which we'll be describing shortly, and the simulated values also. Similarly, you have to do it for other registers as well. So noise margin high, noise margin low. Also, we need to calculate the value of ID current, the drain current, okay, of the transistor, and also the power dissipation, that is the PD, which will be in microwatts. So we have to calculate for each case. Okay, so let us start building this circuit in LT-Spice. Fine. So I'll keep this window slightly open over here like this. Fine, and then I'll open the LT-Spice. So just to save time, we have already built up the circuit and kept it ready for your reference. So this is my resistive load NMOS inverter. So over here we have to define the parameters of the MOSFET, and the circuit is given over here. I think it's the same one. This register, we can call it as register RD. Okay, and we have the power supply VDD applied as 5 volt, and VIN is applied also as 5 volt to calculate the dot DC analysis, that is to calculate the current through the device. So let's see why. So over here, if you see carefully, in this, the driver MOSFET is working in the saturation region, correct? And what is the formula? I mean, it is working in the saturation or cutoff. How will we come to know? Correct? Whether this device is working in the linear, NMOS is working in the linear or saturation condition, how we will know? We will know by this range. If NMOS is in linear region, my VGS will be greater than VT, and VDS will be less than VGS minus VT. If my NMOS is in saturation region, whenever Vin is greater than VT and VDS is greater than or equal to VGS minus VT. So accordingly, we can use these formulas of ID sat or ID linear. Okay. So first of all, we need to determine this ID, whether the driver NMOS is in linear region or it is in the saturation. So let's find out that. So let me go to simulate, go to edit simulation command, go to .op and click on OK and paste it over here, .op. And now if you simulate this, okay, we have to define the model also. Fine. Okay, we have to define the model with these parameters. So here are the parameters which are given. So I'll right click over here. I'll go to draft and spice directive. And now I will start writing the dot model statement over here. Okay, so dot model, and this NMOS we have taken it as NMOS1, so we'll write NMOS1 over here, correct? And then the reserve keyword will come. The reserve keyword will be NMOS space NMOS, and bracket we will start writing these values. So let's consider one of the cases as W. We can substitute it as, let's say, 2 microfarad. We'll not take exactly this. These are the values which you have to take. So I'm taking slightly different. L is equal to, let's say this is 2 micro. L is equal to, let's say, 1 micro. Then VTO is equal to, let's say we are considering it to be zero point 0.8. Okay, and KP value I want to take it as 20 micro. Fine, and then I can click on OK and paste this model over here. Okay, and now if you run it, it will give you the operating points. Yeah, these are the values which you are getting, correct? Now let's check that carefully. So go to view and go to spice error log. You see over here, this will give you more accurate values. So ID value is given to us, VGS value is given, VDS value is given. Okay, so this you can take the print screen. Fine. Later on, whenever you do it. Now let's check whether the transistor is in linear or saturation. Okay, so what is the VGS value? VTH value is 0.8. Okay, so over here my first condition is satisfied always. My VGS is 5 volt and my VTH your VTH is 0.8. So my VGS is greater than VT value, correct? 5 volt is greater than 0.8, correct? Now let's check the condition whether VDS is less than VGS minus VT or greater than. So VDS value is actually, this is 0.1, wow, 0.147. Okay, very less. So, and VGS minus VT, VGS is 5 and VTH is 8. Okay, so it is around 4.2. So definitely VGS minus VT is greater than VDS, correct? That means VGS minus VT is 4.2 and VDS is 0.147. Okay, so definitely my NMOS transistor is in linear region. So you all have to use this formula over here. This formula we have derived it recently in the class. ID linear is equal to half mu n COX W by L twice VGS minus VT into VDS minus VDS square. Okay, so this is the formula which we have to use for NMOS to be in the linear region. So all these values we can substitute over here. So over here my VDS is 0.147, my VGS is 5 volt, let's say, my VT is around 0.8, W by L is given over here. Okay, let me show it to you. So W by L is W by L ratio is 2. Mu and COX is nothing but your here it is. Kn is Kn dash into W by L. In LTSpice it is written as Kp. So whenever you write Kp over here, that indirectly means it is mu and COX. Okay, so your mu and COX is 20 microampere per volt square. That is 20 into 10 is to minus 6. Okay, and half will also come. Fine. So you substitute the values over here, and this value should match with this, you know, this value over here, which is coming. Let me just show it to you in spice error log. So here you have the ID value as 24.3 microamperes, 24.3. So if you substitute all the values over here, as we have discussed, you will get the value as 24.3 microamperes. And once you get that value, you can put it inside the table over here like this. Okay, the ID value. And once we know the ID value, we can determine the value of power. Okay, so how to determine the value of power? You just place your cursor over here. Okay, you see over here downstairs, you get the power in the supply. So power in the supply, it's around 1.32 microwatt. Okay, don't worry about the minus sign and all that. Okay, so the power is ID. Power dissipation will be ID, which is the current flowing through the transistor, into VDD. So what was ID coming out to be? ID is coming out to be 24.26 microamperes into VDD, which is 5 volt. So if you multiply that, you will get 121.3 microwatt. So that value you can calculate, write it over here. You can write the observed simulated value and you can write the calculated value. Again, I repeat, you can directly calculate the power over here. You can see over here downstairs you get the power. right? Don't worry about the negative sign. Okay, and here you can check the current flowing through the to the register will be, which will be same as current flowing through the transistor. Fine with this? So this is how you can calculate ID and PD. Now let's quickly check how to calculate the other values. Now, in order to calculate the the various VTC, plot the VTC curve, we can just keep this deactivated, and now we will start writing the statements. Fine. So go to draft, go to spice directive, and we have to vary the value of V in now. So we will write dot DC V in, okay, 0 to 5 in the steps of 0.1. That is the value we have to vary, right? So you have to delete this from here because we are varying the value of V in over here, correct? So if you don't understand this, what we need to do is, if you don't understand this, what we are doing is this. If we go to simulate, run, and go to DC sweep, and this parameter V in, we have to vary it. Same thing which we did. Okay, linear, and here we have 1, 0, start value 0, stop value 5, increment will be 0.1, and we place it over here. Automatically you will get a screen, correct? And now let's do some addition. We will label the terminals as Veen underscore your name. Please label it like this always. And similarly at the output, I will label it as V out underscore the name. I mean, you can put your name over here. Okay. So now we got the characteristics. Fine. And now if we right click over here and plot it, V out, and we will also plot V in. So there you have it. So you see over here, this is the characteristics which we have described earlier over here like this. So you see, this is the characteristics which we get. It is the VTC curve. Fine. And from here, we have to determine all the parameters. So see how difficult it is. So we don't know where exactly your, slope is -1. It is very difficult to determine over here. And also, to determine the lower value. See, VIL also it's very difficult at -1. Whereas VOH we can directly calculate. So how you calculate VOH? At V in equal to 0, calculate VOH. So that is almost equal to 4.99. Correct? That is okay. And also we can calculate the value of VOL. So VOL is when V in is equal to 5. So it is around 147 millivolt. Okay, that also we can easily calculate. But is there a technique to automate these results directly? Yes, there is. So let's go back to the circuit and let's start calculating that. Okay. Oh, the circuit is circuit number 2. Okay, I'll do this in detail for resistive load and CMOS inverter, whereas for enhancement and depletion, you can carry out the calculations. So what we can do is we can go to Spice Directive and we can start writing such statements, right? So what is the first one? First one is dot measure DC, and let's say we want to save the value as VIL, right? And you can write find V of V in. So find V in, we have put the label over here when your dv out, I mean, you remember we are finding the slope when dv out by dv in is equal to -1. So we are writing when dv out, okay, dv of v out, you have to write the label over there. V of v out, bracket close, is equal to -1. Okay, so that's what we have to write over here. This statement will give it to you directly the value of VIL. It will store it VIL. So again, I repeat, find V in when, find V in over here when dV out by dV in is equal to -1. Okay. Now similarly, we can copy the same statement over here. So here it will be, the changes will be, oh sorry, I have copied it 2 times. So over here the changes will be, I'll right click over here. The changes will be VIH. Okay. Now over here, actually VIH is the second time the slope is equal to -1. Correct. So over here we have to add one statement cross. So cross should be equal to, I can write cross should be equal to twice. So second time it becomes equal to -1. Okay. I hope you are understanding this point. So VIH, find V in when dV out by dV in is equal to -1 for the second time. So that's why we are writing over here cross is equal to 2. Fine. Now we can also automate the following, right? Let me copy this statement one more time. I mean, one and one more time. And now we will also calculate VOH and VOL also directly. So over here, I can calculate, I can say this is VOH. So what is VOH? Find V out. Okay, here we have to change V out. So what is VOH? Find V out when V in is equal to 0. So here D we have to remove, and here we have to write V in instead of V out. So when V in is equal to 0. Okay, so that's the statement which we have written, and we have to write one more statement of VOL actually. So VOL will be find V out when V in is equal to 5. Okay, when V in is equal to 5. Fine. And if you want, you can calculate VTH also. So what will be VTH? Just will be the extension of this only. So we can save that parameter name as VTH. VTH. So find V out. Okay, when V in is equal to V out. Okay, so that is the statement which you have to write. V in is equal to V out. Okay, that's what we have written. So this will directly store the value of VTH in variable VTH. Okay, and now what if we directly calculate the noise margins also over here? So we can also do that over here. So we'll go to edit, so to draft spice directive and write the statement dot measure, so NML no noise margin, and we can write param. We have the value of VIL. We can directly write it over here and subtract it with VOL. We have found out that, right? And in the next statement, we can write dot measure NMH param VOH minus VIH. Remember to give the same variable name. Okay, if you, I mean, we have defined over here same variable name, right? Same variable name you have to give over here. So this will give us directly the values of the noise margin levels high and low and all the 5 critical parameters. Okay, so let's see how do we get this. So let us simulate, run. We got this characteristics. Okay, and now we can go back to the schematic, go to view, go to spice error log, and there you see all the parameters directly you got. Okay, so this VIH is 0.905, VIH is VIL is 0.905, VIH is 1.99, VOH is 5, VOL is 147 millivolt, VTH is 1.7, noise margin low and noise margin high. You see over here, we are getting unequal noise margins. So this is how we can directly get this, and you can substitute this values over here in the observation table. Okay, so here is the observation table. So you can do this for one value of resistive RL, and then you can change the value of RL later on. Okay, so I took the value of 200k over here. That's okay. I've taken a different values of W and L. That's absolutely fine. Okay, fine. Now let's move ahead. So let us see how to calculate it, with the help of formulas. So you have given here the formulas over here. VOH formula. So this is how you can calculate it theoretically. So VOH formula is given. VOL formula is given over here, which is over here. So VOH is just VDD. VOL is, you can see in your screens. Let me just expand it a little. Okay. So this is the formula for VOL. So substitute all the values over here. Remember, Kn will be Kn dash times W by L. Okay. So Kn dash will be mu n into Cox, which is the value which you have over here. Okay. So remember that. That is just Kp value. Okay. We write in the LT spice, we write it as Kp. So 20 micro into W by L, which is twice over here, which I have considered. Okay. So accordingly, this Kn value you substitute over here. Okay. And RL value we have given over here, RL or RD. We can also call it as RL or RD. Okay. Substitute VTO is also given for the NMOS transistor. All the values you substitute and match it with the simulated value. Similarly, VIL formula is given, VTO plus 1 divided by Kn into RL, and VIH value is also given, VTO plus square root of 8 by 3 VDD upon Kn into RL minus 1 upon Kn into RL. So all these formulas will be derived in your theory class. Okay, don't worry about it. Right now, just use it. Fine. And next we have it as, ID. Yeah, ID we have already found out. Fine. So we have to put all these values inside this simulated table. I hope that is fine. Okay. So let's say if you, so I will keep this for 5 seconds for y'all to have a look at it. So we have to do all these parameters measurement for the NMOS. Fine. Okay. So we calculate this 4 critical parameters. We calculate the 4 critical parameters, that is VIL, VIH, VOL, and VOL. And also we also calculate the VTH value. You can calculate the VTH value also, correct? So next we'll go on to the next part, which we have it as, which we have enhancement load inverter. So this way for resistive load, you have this entire table. So you have to determine all the 4 critical parameters, the 2 noise margin levels, the drain current, and the power dissipation supplied by the power supply. Okay, power dissipation. So next we'll go for enhancement load. Okay, so I will not take much time in the enhancement load. Directly we can, write those things. Fine. So let's say we will start now with the enhancement load. So let me see. Yeah, this is the enhancement load. We have it. Okay. So over here also we have the circuit given. So whenever the upper load, earlier one it was a resistive load, right? And now we have a NMOS enhancement load, whose enhancement load will be like, whose gate terminal is connected to the drain terminal. The gate terminal and the drain terminal are tied together. Okay, so you can select the NMOS 4 from the library, and you can separately connect the body to the ground. You can see over here body is connected to the ground. Okay, and then again you can quickly give the names over here, v in underscore the name. Okay, and here we can give it output as v out underscore name. Okay, we will not go in that much detail, but we'll quickly simulate one characteristics. I want to show you all this. Okay, and we have to define two different models, one for NMOS and one for another NMOS, right? So I've already named it as NMOS 1 and NMOS 2. So let us quickly write the dot model statement. So I have over here spice directive. I'll write dot model, right? NMOS 1. So NMOS 1 is nothing but your driver NMOS. NMOS driver parameters I have to write. So over here I have VTO as zero point 0.8. Okay, let's say I take it as 0 0.8. W is equal to, let me take it as 8 basically, or let me take it as same one. Let us just simulate quickly and see this. This is 2, gamma is 0. You can give it as 0.2 over here. Gamma means your, I will explain that, just wait. Lambda is equal to 0, and Kp is 25 microampere per volt. Okay. Similarly, I have to define the other one for the NMOS 2. So I'll go over here. Oh, I have to go to next line. So Control M, and I paste it. So NMOS 2, I'll make the changes quickly. So NMOS VTO is same. W is 4 actually. So W is 4 over here. L is same. Gamma is 0.0. And lambda is 0 and Kp is same. Okay. So I'll add the statement over here very quickly. Fine. Now, why the gamma? Gamma is the body bias coefficient. So for the NMOS one, if you see, the source and the body are connected at the same potential. So VSB is 0. Whereas for in case of your NMOS 2, your body is at ground, but your source is not at ground. So VSB is not equal to 0. That's why we added the gamma term over here. I hope that this point is clear. Now we can go to simulate. Let me just close this and let me simulate this. So we have to go to DC sweep, vary the V in from linear sweep from 0 to let's say 5 in the steps of 0.1 quickly. So we will observe the graph over here and we'll plot the input also. So see over here, we'll got a different kind of, VTC curve, slightly different than the earlier one. Okay, but similar to the general one only. So yeah, here it is, the general VTC curve, and these are for the enhancement load. Okay, and from here we need to calculate VOH, VOL, and all that. So similar to the second one, we can copy all the statements as it is. Okay, I have just copied over here and pasted to the third screen. Yeah, I can just copy the statement as it is because I've defined the input and the output terminal same. And once I do that, I'll run it again. And now I'll go to the circuit and just check the view error log. See, directly you got the values. Okay, VIL, VIH, VOL, VOH, VTH, noise margin high, noise margin low. Automatically we got the values. So quick. Okay, so once you go that, don't need to, there is no uh, there are no calculations as such, right? We have to just write the simulated values of all critical parameters and a noise margin high and noise margin low. That's it. And over here, all the procedure is given. We have to plot the VTC by varying the value of V in from 0 to 5. We did that. And we noted down the value of all critical parameters and the noise margin levels. And now we have to, repeat this with for NMOS load, make gamma equal to zero point 0.2. Okay, we can make it gamma equal to 0 for the first case, and we can now make it to gamma equal to zero point 0.2. We have actually given as 0.2 only, but okay, it's okay, absolutely fine. So that's how you complete this, NMOS inverter with enhancement type load. Okay, I hope that this is clear. That's how you get the values. Now let's quickly go to the, I think, depletion load. Yeah, so we have this depletion load quickly. So for depletion NMOS inverter, the load over here is the NMOS only, but the depletion load. Now in our analysis, in the LT spice, we don't have a depletion type load. So what we do is we give a very high value of VTO such that it becomes depletion load. Okay. So let's write down the values of the NMOS 1 and NMOS 2. So let me copy this all the statements. Okay, because all of the statements will be required in that also. So let's quickly copy them and then we can verify, I mean modify it. Fine. Here it is. So NMOS 1 is my driver. So here NMOS 1 driver, let's say its value is 1 volt over here. Let me give it as NMOS 1 driver 1 volt, and W over here is 6. Let's consider to be 6. L is 3 micro. Gamma is zero point 0.4 over here. Again, it's not non-zero substrate bias, and TP is same. Here in the load NMOS, we have -3 to make it forcefully make it as a depletion type. Okay, and here W is 1 micro, L is 3 micro, gamma is again zero point 0.4 over here. We are considering it to be 0.4, and lambda is equal to 0. I think gamma should be zero point 0.4, correct? I think for uppercase, for NMOS 1, it should be 0. I think by mistake I've written over here as zero point 0.1. You check out in your write-up what's the value given. Okay, I'm sure that the gamma for the lower NMOS driver should be 0. And whereas for the upper load, again it is non-zero substrate bias. The source terminal and the body terminal of the upper transistor is not equal to 0. Depletion load meaning the gate and the source terminal are tied together. Okay, the gate and the source terminal are tied together, and here the NMOS is the depletion type. Okay, not the enhancement type. So again, we have to vary the value of V in from 0 to find the steps of 0.1. Here it is, correct? And we have to note down the various, critical voltages. So we have already done that. Okay. Only thing is we have to define, V in underscore name over here like this, and V out underscore name. Okay, over here. Here is my V out. So let me quickly do this. And now if I check the output curve, It will come very quickly. Okay, this is depletion load. Yeah, and I'll also plot the V in curve. Yeah, so here it is. This is my characteristics, which is similar to your, general characteristics which we have seen earlier. Okay, so from here, from this characteristics, we need to determine VOH, VOL, VIL, and VIH, which we can easily do that because we have written all the dot measure statements. So go to view, go to spice error log, so you get all the values over here. You see VIH, VIL, VOH, VOL, VTH, noise margin low, noise margin high. You see the calculations has become so simple. Okay, so now we have very less time. We have around 5 minutes. Let's quickly go to the CMOS inverter. Okay, so if we quickly go to the CMOS inverter, here it is. So we have to select upper load as now PMOS. So for CMOS inverter, I guess I have to open the other PDF. Okay, so this is my NMOS inverter with PMOS load. So the upper transistor is my PMOS now, PMOS enhancement type. Okay, one difference over here, one notice that the driver transistor, okay, the driver transistor is a NMOS enhancement, and the load transistor is the PMOS enhancement. Okay, and for the PMOS, the body terminal is always connected to the highest potential, which is VDD, and for the NMOS, the body terminal is always connected to the lowest potential, which is ground. Okay, and both the gates are tied together, and we have a V in over here. So this is my CMOS inverter, and the output terminal is taken from both the drain terminals. This is the drain terminal. Okay, I have not marked over here. This is the drain terminal for the PMOS, and this is the drain terminal for the NMOS. So both are tied together, and we check the output over here. Okay, so this is called as NMOS inverter with enhancement type PMOS as a load. Okay, by mistake I've written here NMOS. This is PMOS as a load, or it is also called as a CMOS inverter, complementary MOS transistor, CMOS inverter. Okay, so over here they have given the values of PMOS enhancement and PMOS load. So for odd roll numbers, we have to take VDD as 0.5 volt, and for even roll numbers, you take it as VDD as for 3.3. That's the only change which you have to do. Internal parameters are all the same. Okay, so just take the different power supply values. So again, I repeat, the odd roll numbers take VDD as 5 volt, and even roll numbers take VDD as 3.3. Okay, so let us start now. So we can, first of all, I will take we have to plot the VTC curve over here by using the DC analysis. Fine, so we have to vary the V in. Same procedure is there. We have to note down the VOH, VOL and everything, but over here we have to calculate these values: VOH, VOL, VIL and VIL with the formulas also. So we will see one sample calculations also quickly. Fine, so over here, I have considered example parameters are given. I have not taken the same parameters. So we can quickly, copy those things earlier. We will be using this. So let me copy the same things over here because the parameters will be remaining the same only. Fine. So let me do that. The technique, the way we measure these things will remain the same. That will not change, right? So that's why we can copy them as it is over here also. Okay, let me paste it over here. Okay, so all these parameters we have defined. Let me define the input also as label as Vin underscore the name, and simultaneously also V out. Okay, so V out underscore. So don't forget to do that. Okay, and see that whenever you have a PMOS transistor, you mirror image it. You see carefully over here. If I have your attention, whenever you take a PMOS load, see the way the arrow is outward. And whenever we have a PMOS load, let's say you select PMOS 4. Okay, I have to select, sorry, PMOS 4. Okay, it will be available in this form, but we have to interchange it. I mean, we have to reverse it like this and then interchange it. You see the gate terminal should come up. So this is the change which we have to do over here. Okay, I hope that that is clear now. And now let's quickly change the parameters as per the requirement. So dot model NMOS 1 parameters are VDD is 3.3 volt over here. Here VTO is 0.6. So I have to change it to 0.6. Okay. The W and L, let's see how much it is. It's 2 over here actually. So we can give it as, let's say, 4 and 2. Okay, gamma is 0 over here, and Kp dash is Kn dash is around 100, so we can give it around 100 over here, 100 micro. And then we have PMOS 1. So over here we'll write PMOS 1, and we have to write reserve word as PMOS, where VTO should be minus zero point 0.6 given over here. W by L is 4, so let's make this as 8. Okay, gamma is 0, lambda is 0, Kp is given as 50 micro. Okay, so we have quickly noted down these parameters. Okay, and Vn is already varying from 0 to 5, and all the other parameters are as it is, because the procedure to calculate the four critical parameters VIH, VIL, VOL and VOH and the noise margin level will remain the same. Okay, so let's simulate this. Fine, so let's just check the characteristics what we are getting. Yeah, we are getting this. Okay, so here it should be, actually I've done one mistake. Mean should be varying from 0 to 3.3. Okay, if the power supply is 3.3, it should be varying between 0 to 3.3. If the power supply is 5, it should vary between 0 to 5. So this is the characteristics, okay, which we are getting. Now this is the similar one which we have seen earlier. From these characteristics, we have to determine VOH, VOL, VIL and VIH. We already written some statements over here. We can directly get these values over here, right? We'll go to view, we'll go to the circuit, we'll go to view, we'll go to spice error log, and here it is. We directly got these values. Okay, VOL. Okay, VOL is filled because we have written here Vin equal to 5. Our supply voltage is 3.3. So if you write here 3.3 and simulate again, you might get a much better version of this, I guess. Yes, we are getting a much better version now. And if I view and in the spice error log, now I'll get all the values. See over here, VIL, VIH, VOL, VOH, VTH, and noise margin low and noise margin high. Surprisingly, noise margins are equal over here. Okay, so let's check it out now in the calculations, how to calculate. Okay, so over here, when you see over here, the Kn and Kp value calculate quickly. So Kn is Kn dash into W by L of W by L ratio of NMOS, which is 100 into 2, which is 200 microampere per volt square. In this case, it is given. You are given the separate parameter, so you accordingly calculate. Okay, so you all are given separate parameters. I have taken separate parameters for my calculations. Okay, so over here, the the Kp, the value of kr, if you calculate, it is kn upon kp, which is 1. Okay, so whenever the kr ratio, inverter ratio is 1 and vtop is equal to vton, the magnitude of it, the CMOS inverter is said to be symmetric. That means whenever kr is equal to 1, that is kn is equal to kp, and both the threshold voltages are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign, we say that it's a symmetric inverter. Okay, okay, so here our voh is given as vdd, formula is VDD, which is 3.3 directly. VOL is 0 volt. So two critical parameters are very easy, but the other two are little bit slightly complex. So for VIH estimation, we have to consider this formula. Again, this technique, this formula, how do we got? We will derive it soon in the class. Okay, don't you all worry about it. So VIL you calculate using this formula, twice V out plus VTOP, which is the threshold voltage for PMOS, minus VDD plus KR times VTON divided by 1 plus KR. Okay, so I'm not going into details. You substitute the values, you get VIL in terms of V out. Okay, so VIL is over here V out minus 1.65. You call this equation number 2, and you have another equation. Again, this will get it from the derivations. So we have this equation number 3. Okay, so you substitute the value of equation number 2 in 3. Wherever we have V in, you substitute there V out minus 1.65. So here I've already substituted that. Here Kn is equal to Kp, so this will cancel out. So over here, next step, you simplify them and you will get a quadratic equation. Now, fortunately, for symmetric inverter, we don't get a quadratic equation. We directly get the answer of V out. Okay, but since in your case the Kr is not equal to 1, your Kp and Kn are different, you will get a quadratic. So you will get a quadratic equation, you will get two values of V out. So select the value of positive value of V out, which is closer to VDD. Okay, I repeat, you will get a quadratic equation because your parameters kn is not equal to kp. So select the value of v out which is closer to vdd. Okay, and that value you substitute over here. VIL is v out minus 1.65 in this case. So I'm substituting and got the value of VIL as 1.3875, and calculated value I got it as 1.39. Okay, I think VIL 1.395 something. Okay, close to that. So 1.3875 I got it. Fine. And similarly, we have to calculate the value of VIH. So VIH, we already have this formula. We will see that in the derivation file CMOS inverter, for the CMOS inverter. So VIH is given by VDD plus VTOP plus KR times twice Vout plus VTON divided by 1 plus KR. So in this scenario, we have substituted the values which are given over here. These parameters I have considered. These parameters I have considered. Okay. So quickly we will go forward. So VIH is at V in equal to VIH. My VIH expression is V out plus 1.65. So I got the value, and this expression VIH is V out plus 1.65. And then we have again one more equation. So this equations we have to consider. We substitute the value of V in, which is equal to VIH, in the above expression. Okay. So over here we have substituted that. I've cancelled out Kn and Kp. In my case, it is cancelling. In your case, it will not cancel. So you have to consider that and do the calculations. Again, you will get a quadratic. In this case, again, I'm not getting the quadratic because Kn is equal to Kp. In your case, definitely you will get a quadratic. So now for VIL, you have to consider the value of V out, which is closer to zero, a positive value of V out, which is closer to zero. So kindly take care of it. Okay, and then you can again calculate the value of VIH easily. VIH was V out plus 1.65, and you get the value directly. VIH 1.9125. Okay, and again you will calculate the noise margins using the formula VIL minus VOL and VOH minus VIH. So you see over here the noise margins are coming out to be same, almost same, 1.3875. Okay, so for a symmetric CMOS inverter, we get equal noise margins. That means it will interpret equal noise margin. What's the advantage? It will interpret logic 1 and logic 0 equally. Equal percentage we have, equal chance. And VTH will be closer to VDD by 2. Okay. And let's see whether in simulation also we get this. Yeah, we are getting similar noise margins, 1.39. That's absolutely fine. Maybe some parameter I have taken here and there. Okay, this is 8, this is 2, 4. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We have got the parameters. A slight deviation will be there. But the important thing is we are getting the equal noise margins over here, if you see carefully. Okay. And we are getting VTH, which is almost half of 3.3. So if you do 3.3 divided by 2, you will get 1.65, and we are getting 1.65 over here. Okay. And here over here, VOL is coming out to be 0, almost 0, and VOH is 3.3. So all the parameters you substitute in this table. Okay, and also if you want to note down the value of V out, okay, so in this calculations we got the value of V out also, right? V out whenever V in was equal to VIL. Okay, so here also in calculations also you can do that. What I'm saying is, let me go over here, let me go in the graph. So we have VIL somewhere, so correspondingly at this particular value of VIL, what is my value of VOH? Okay, at this particular value of VIL, what is my value of VOH? We can easily calculate that also. And at this particular value of VIH, what is my value of V out? Okay, so that also we can calculate easily just by writing two statements over here. So let me go over here and add two statements. So I can add two more statements. I can copy it like this only. Okay, and I'll paste it over here, and then I'll modify this. So let's say I will call this as V out 1. So V out 1, so we need to find, okay, find V out at V out 1 is VIL. Okay, so find V out at VIL. Okay, so find V out 1. So what are we saying? If we go in this characteristics, we are saying find V out when V out is equal to VIL. Okay, find V out at VIL. Okay, And similarly, we can write one more statement over here. Okay, let me take this. So over here, I can get it as V out 2, the second time V out at VIH. So with this, I can directly get the result. So here I'm getting the same graph. Okay, nothing, no, not changing over here. But if I view the plot, spice error log, I'll get much better results. So see over here. So see, so you got the values in the calculations also. You were getting something. See, V out 3.02 at VIL equal to 1.39. So this is the value of V out at VIL. So we got this value, and similarly, V out was 0.26, and here it is 0.27 at VIH equal to 1.97. So this is what we have to additionally write in the table also. So V out at VIL and V out at VIH. So this is V out at VIL and V out at VIH. Okay. So, and we have to compare the four characteristics. So you see over here, this is the sharpest curve which we are getting. You remember we have started with a NOT gate ideal inverter. So you see, this is the sharpest one. The transition is very, very accurate. That's why CMOS is considered to be much, much better as compared to earlier. Okay. This is how we estimate all the four critical parameters in case of, all the four inverters. The resistive load inverter, correct? The enhancement load inverter, depletion load inverter, and the CMOS inverter, which we have seen. And by using the dot model statement, we can estimate all the five critical parameters and the noise margin levels, and we'll get this type of VTC curve. Okay. So I hope that you all will complete all the things in the Google document assigned to you. Take all the print screens. Okay. And also take the print screens of this, spice error log whenever you get the output. So you can expand it like this and take the print screen. Okay. And fill out the observation table. Okay. So that will be all for this, lab. Next time we'll start with other lab, that is lab number 4, BVLSI lab number 4. So until then, have a good day and thank you.